Do you know the signs of cancer in cats? Watch this video and you may learn something that can help save your cat's life. In this video, I'm going to share with you 9 symptoms that could indicate cancer in cats. If you notice anything that I'm talking about in this video in your cat, then it's important to get your cat to the veterinarian as soon as possible so they can conduct a full physical exam, run some tests, and determine the cause of the problem. Because several of these symptoms and signs I'm going to be talking about, they can relate to other diseases as well that are not as severe or significant. So I don't want you to worry if you see any of these things on your cat. Just realize that they indicate something's amiss or abnormal. It's not necessarily cancer, but it could be cancer. So we're going to call these possible signs of cancer. And if you see them, go to the vet. Okay, number 1, lumps and bumps on the skin, which could indicate a skin tumor. Could also indicate an old scar or an abscess or something much less serious, but could also be skin tumors. Now, skin tumors fall into 2 categories: benign skin tumors that can be removed if you wish, but are not going to cause any further problems. Or we have malignant tumors that can spread to the rest of the body and cause lots of problems. So skin tumors in themselves are not all necessarily bad cancers, but if you find lumps or bumps on your cat, those need to be checked out by a vet. In addition to the skin, you also want to just check on the female cats, especially their mammary chain. So they have mammary glands in 2 lines down their chest and abdomen, both sides. And in normal adult cats, most of them that are spayed, those should be very small and pretty much not decipherable. But if a cat gets breast cancer, then what you'll notice is localized swelling, redness, and abnormalities there as well. So the second sign of cancer in cats is crusty red lesions on the tip of their nose, on the tip of their ears, or on their forehead. And this is especially in white cats. And what that can indicate in most cases is skin cancer. Squamous cell carcinoma is the most common one in cats. It's pretty similar to the thing that humans get. And it affects those areas because they're most exposed to the sun. And it's usually in cats that have pink skin that are the most affected. So like your white cats with blue eyes, they're more likely to develop something like this. And it can start out just looking like some little crusty on the nose, and then it can proceed to become a bigger, redder problem. So if you're seeing any of those, go to the vet. The number 3 sign that your cat could have cancer is weight loss. So weight loss, cancer is often a very greedy disease, and tumors or cancer that's spreading everywhere needs energy to feed itself, basically. And so it steals energy and groceries from the cat. Also, some types of cancer can make cats feel really nauseous, so they just don't want to eat as much. So what we notice in a lot of cats that have cancer is they have weight loss. And in fact, they have a term for this. It's called cancer cachexia. So weight loss is another symptom that can be associated with cancer. The 4th sign is another non-specific sign. It's just vomiting and diarrhea. There's so many things that can cause vomiting and diarrhea in cats that is not cancer, but there are some types of cancer that specifically affect the digestive system, such as lymphoma is a big one. Intestinal adenocarcinoma is another one that can cause vomiting and diarrhea. So vomiting and diarrhea could be a sign of cancer in cats. And the 5th sign is going back to the skin, and that is any areas of hair loss or redness or rashes or things that look like infections on your skin, on your cat's hair coat. Now, this is different than the ones I talked about earlier that are specific to the face. This is more something that is associated with cutaneous lymphoma, which is a type of cancer that can cause skin cancer, rashes on the surface of the skin. So if you see any of those, go to the vet. Another possible sign of cancer in cats is swollen lymph nodes. So lymphoma is a cancer that is fairly common in cats, and it can cause them to have swollen lymph nodes all over the body. And the most common places you will see swollen lymph nodes on a cat are right back here at the point of their jaw, they should have lymph nodes right back there. Normally they are about the size of a pea. If you feel anything back there that feels larger, sometimes they can get really big. The size of a grape is considered a big lymph node. Also, they'll have them on the points of their shoulder. They'll have them in their armpits. They'll have them in their leg pits. And then they have them on the back of the legs. Popliteal lymph nodes are on the back of the legs. So if any of those lymph nodes are swollen, or more concerning, if all of them are swollen, could be a sign of lymphoma. Go to the vet. The seventh sign of possible cancer in cats is neurological changes. So cats that suddenly develop epilepsy or seizures, or maybe they have a head tilt, or maybe they just have neurological changes where they're more depressed, or something's just off with them neurologically. Could be a brain tumor. That happens in cats. So if you're noticing any neurological changes, especially things like seizures, because cats don't get seizures as often as, say, dogs do, that's something you really need to pay attention to, and you need to get that animal seen by a veterinarian as soon as possible. The number 8 sign that could indicate cancer in cats is limping. Now, again, as I've said with all this other stuff, there's so many other things that can cause a cat to limp. I mean, if they get bit and they're ouchy from getting bit, that can cause limping. But they can also get a rare form of bone cancer called osteosarcoma, which affects the bones and causes the bones to just pretty much disintegrate and cause a big swollen lesion on the bones. Very painful, and it will cause limping. So if you're noticing that your cat is limping, there's something that's causing pain. So just go to the vet. Hopefully it's not cancer, but there is always a possibility that it could be. And then the last sign of cancer in cats would be changes to their eye. So if you're noticing that their eye looks different, maybe it's cloudy, or maybe it's bulging more than it should, or maybe they're squinting, or maybe you're noticing an abnormal growth somewhere. Cats can get several forms of ocular cancers, and so the best thing to do is if you're noticing anything abnormal with the eye, get to the veterinarian as soon as possible, because without treatment, the eye is pretty sensitive and they can go blind pretty quick. So it's always better to get eye things seen as soon as possible. Most of the things that we've talked about in this video are actually things that you need to pay attention to, and you need to get your pet to the vet as soon as you can, just so that you can have an idea what's going on. And if it is something like cancer, you can get a good treatment plan. And many times we can actually save these cats from cancer. They can become survivors. So hopefully after watching this video, you're not feeling nervous or neurotic or worried. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is so that you are informed, so that when you see things, you can get them treated when they're a little problem versus waiting until it's a big, obvious problem that's much harder for veterinarians to treat. Have you had a cat go through a cancer journey? If so, please share it with us in the comment section below. We'd love to hear about your journey. You never know how you will inspire or help other people. And if you like content like this, hit subscribe. I do content like this for cats.com on a pretty regular basis. I would love to share more information with you.